Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to LinkedIn Made Simple with me, Andy Foote, and this guy here.
Ta-da.
Hello, Ryan.
How are you doing today, sir?
Good. How are you, bud?
Fantastic. I'm in my new home for the next 4 days.
Holy moly, that is some backdrop.
Yeah, I'm in a hotel lobby, actually.
No, it's the best StreamYard backdrop, the best backdrop I've seen.
Maybe I should take a picture of this and use it from now on.
Yeah, it's very quiet out. It's good. I mean, I should never be surprised, right? Because you're you're an AV geek, and I'm sure you don't mind me saying that. But
Yeah.
you got the latest equipment, but not just that. You know how to use it, buddy.
Yeah, well, I'm going old school back with the MacBook camera this week. I just didn't want to put all the camera equipment up here in the lobby of the hotel.
Totally fine. Totally fine. Okay, so I'm just checking my phone here to make sure I can see. Cool. All right, so let's see. Oh, well, first off, I have to apologize. What do I have to apologize for?
I don't know. I'm just really kind of surprised maybe that we're able to even have this meeting today after the 65 links I got yesterday.
Wow, it's a good job I got my tan early because you put me in the shade. Yeah. Dude, I mean, I'll try to run some excuses by you and see if they see if they fly. All right. So first of all, I'm not used to StreamYard. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, I've got 12 noon on the brain because that's the time slot for all of my shows. And by the way, it's a slot that works pretty well for the UK and the US, not so well for Aussies, but I'm trying. So that's number one. Number two, yesterday was a shit show. Because I mean, I schedule it first off right for 12 because I'm in automatic 12 mode, and then I realized, crap, LinkedIn Made Simple is the 11 slot. Yes. So I go and change it. All right. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is somehow I managed to click. I don't know how I did this. 11 p.m. instead of 11 a.m. And someone kindly in comments said, "So Andy, this is like a night show." I thought, it's
the late show with Andy and Ryan talking LinkedIn Made Simple.
Seriously, third time I got it right, and every time I had to delete that post because of the way it's like. And I'm thinking people must be getting whiplash, right? Anyone who's paying attention and like saw the first one and they go in and it disappears. Like, where did Andy's post about LinkedIn Made Simple go? Where did my comment go? Right. So that happened like twice. I do apologize. That's why I had the cryptic. All right. This time with the right slot. But dude, sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, it's okay. I have learned though, StreamYard does not, at least for me, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but does not function on Chrome. I have to go into Firefox in order for it to see my cameras and microphone.
Yeah, that's interesting because I had a snafu with Firefox and StreamYard. I think it was last week, and that put me straight back into Vivaldi's Waiting Arms, which is a Chrome based web browser. So, oh well. I want to say hi to some folks in chat. I want to say hi to George Frican. Hello, Umesh Umi. Hello, George.
Hey, George.
Danielle Guzman, the wonderful Danielle Guzman.
Danielle.
She's on my Blinkety Blank show tomorrow. I could tell you more about that. Juana Puero. I'm sure I'm demolishing your name. Sorry, Juana. And so yes, hello Kathy. Hello. Any questions for our Q&A session? Put them in there in chat, please, folks. You're very, very welcome. Happy, delighted to see you. So I'm going to share a document, buddy boy.
Let's do it.
And we'll get on with the show. So stuff. stuff I saw today. First of all, I want to just give a brief infomercial for LinkedIn Action User Group Heroes. This is my Facebook community. If you're at all interested in LinkedIn and you want to keep up to date with everything that's happening and learn a lot on the journey, then LinkedIn Action User Group Heroes is the community on Facebook for you. It's, I would say it's the biggest and the best. Might not be the biggest, but it is certainly the best community if you're a LinkedIn aficionado. So that's the first piece up there. The second piece is Creator Weekly is this, it's a newsletter by Dan Roth, and you can see it's got 81,000 over 81,000 subscribers, and he highlights everything, you know, creator related. And this one caught my attention for this comment here. So from Christopher Paris, who says, so just seeing if I missed something, LinkedIn published an article targeting LinkedIn creators on how they can monetize their content on Twitch and YouTube, not on LinkedIn. Is that right? Dan Roth in defense mode. My goal here is to help creators, and that means understanding the landscape. All right. So then Christopher doubles down and says, look, maybe make LinkedIn better. You've already stripped out all incentives for groups managers to continue to operate by crippling group announcements, forcing managers to become unpaid marketers for LinkedIn. Then through Sales Navigator, you've created a tool to reward spammers and fill users' inboxes with approved spam. The creator accounts could have helped undo some of this damage, but yet again, the platform is just about getting eyeballs and not about building a place where dedicated users get anything back in return. So I said, ouchie, in the Facebook group when I introduced that for discussion. Does he have a point?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take Dan's side for just a minute, and because I talk about this in my first book, Career Cred, and the benefit of curating content, right? So by helping others understand where else you can monetize your content, Dan is kind of positioning his newsletter as the place to go to learn more about how creators can make the best of their talents and their skills and the content and things that they create, and how they can better serve more people in different places. So while I can understand Christopher's comments, I also see what Dan is doing. And, you know, if he's positioning himself as that go-to person, you can't blame him for pointing out other competitive platforms to go take a look at.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that's balanced. I agree with you. You know, if you know, Dan is right to say, look, let's take the best from everything, and to, you know, let's show or talk about what best practice is, you know, on all channels, and how that, you know, how that can be related or how that can be transferred and delivered on LinkedIn. But Christopher, certainly, you know, as I said in my Facebook group, the truth hurts, and it's shocking. You know, groups are shocking and have been for a long time. That's disappointing. And I'm not sure about, you know, the Sales Navigator point, because as you know, I don't use Sales Navigator, but I don't know if that's valid or not. And yeah, a lot of people are a bit disappointed. We discussed it last time about creator mode, and you know, my own view was that it's targeting newbie creators, not so much people who are well established and already have the follow account and are, you know, up and running at the races, so to speak. So yeah, that's something I just want to call out. I mean, I also think that it's important to keep LinkedIn accountable, right? And who else are going to do that, right? But users, not power users necessarily, but I think you need to call them out when they're, you know, they're not doing an amazing job, or they could be doing better, frankly, because LinkedIn is certainly, you know, going to slap themselves on the back and congratulate themselves and think they're doing wonderfully, right? But they are a monopoly. And there's no competition, and they can innovate at whatever pace they like, because frankly, we ain't going anywhere. And this is from, you know, a strong fan of LinkedIn. I keep calling LinkedIn essential and fabulous, and I mean that.
Right.
All right, man. So we got Tegan. Hello, good afternoon, Tegan Bartos. Good afternoon from Chicago. Me too.
Hello.
Me too, Tegan. I am in the northern burbs. All right. So here's another thing that caught my eye. So editors picks. Editors picks is where essentially, it says what it means on the can. So LinkedIn editors will pick a piece of content that they want to get eyeballs on, and it's usually a string of content that is all based around the same subject area that LinkedIn have chosen to highlight and showcase. Because what leapt out was they're choosing Justin Welsh, who's a very good content producer. He knows what he's doing. However, it's very formulaic, right? He does the one thing, sticks to it, and sometimes to me, it's Captain Obvious. May not be Captain Obvious to other folks, but it works, and he sells his system, right? And if you can replicate what Justin does, more power to you, right? It's not my cup of tea. I don't lavish praise on it. I don't engage on it because it's not for me. But other people obviously do like his stuff and the way he does it. And he's a very smart guy. Also went to Ohio, Fisher, Ohio State, where my wife went. So aside by. Now, this is the thing that I wasn't so happy with. A recent viral post. Why does LinkedIn talk about viral posts? Why do they do that?
How do they define it? Would also be a question I would ask. What makes it viral?
Right. Yeah, because this isn't viral. I mean, he's done more than this in terms of those stats. So that's not viral, number one. But yeah, exactly. How do they define it? And also LinkedIn, they pick and choose who goes viral. So it's this is manufactured. And I can't remember a viral post that I've thought, wow, that's fantastic. That's blown my mind. Or, that's changed my life. I know, that's me being snarky, but come on. And also the other problem I have with this is that the chances are that I'm talking to the general public, you will never have a viral piece go viral on LinkedIn in your lifetime, no matter how hard you try. It's just never going to happen. So it's unobtainable. It's not even a goal that you should have anyway. You should just be producing the best content you can that gets maximum engagement on a consistent basis. Right? Whether you're getting double digit or triple digit engagement, just do the best you can and make sure that you're enjoying the journey rather than, I want 1,000 reactions on this. I didn't get 1,000 reactions. That's so sad.
Again, it gets back to what we talked about last week. What are your goals? If your goals are just to get reactions, then you're going to put out a bunch of stuff that probably is irrelevant to your target audience. To the people that you want to talk to, the people you want to connect with. And, people do that all the time, and it takes them off brand. It takes them off message, but they got 1,000 likes. Well, who cares?
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's like the one hit wonder, right? If you're constantly producing content that is satisfying and exciting your tribe, then that's it. You've accomplished what you do. And it's steadily producing, that highly rated, highly regarded content from your audience. That's what you should be focused on, instead of this unobtainable goal and this, this garbage viral. I really have a problem with viral, the word anyway. Hugely and picked by LinkedIn. And then, of course, once it's picked, it becomes more and more popular because LinkedIn have said, ye shall be viral. And now we shall show it to more people than usual. There, we stamped it with our approval. Hi, Ian Farmer. Hello, Brenda Meller, the fantastic Brenda Meller. Good afternoon from Metro Detroit. I can see you from my house, Brenda. No, I can't. Across the lake. Allison Summers, had another from Chicago. Happy to say hello. Happy to see you, Allison. Ian's asking, any ideas yet when newsletters will be available to all who want it? Okay, so newsletters is not available to anyone who wants it. Newsletters is based on if you're lucky, you get it. If you know someone at LinkedIn, who knows someone, you might get it.
Back to their stamp of approval.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, everyone who's got newsletters is either incredibly lucky or incredibly favored. And it's a great opportunity, without a doubt, to build up a base, because you get that ability to build up you essentially have a subscribe button. But last time I checked, Ian, that the language was still the same. It said that it was a rollout, and then so it was a mixed message. Initially, it was a rollout, and then they said, "Yeah, you can't apply for it." So what is it? So it's pretty confusing, but I don't think it's coming. Danielle Guzman says, "We ain't going anywhere," is why I believe they are investing with creator mode in newbies and smaller creators more. They want to broaden their base of active creators. They know they've got the heavy users. What would be good is to consider a way to recognize those heavy users as the newbies could learn from them. It's about community. They need someone to champion how to recognize. Absolutely. 100% that support that statement, Danielle. Find a way to shine a light on the content creators who are doing a splendid job, right? Tap into their knowledge. Get, I don't know, form a mastermind or something that is LinkedIn approved. Do something like that. Brenda Meller says, "I'm noticing a huge increase in people getting accepted for LinkedIn Live this week, including my husband, who isn't even active on LinkedIn." Fascinating.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's good, I think.
Yeah, I want to tag onto that, because I just noticed this week. LinkedIn updated its video LinkedIn Live criteria, and it's much more specific than it ever has been before. So, for example, you need an audience base, members and pages with more than 150 followers and or connections. You need to be able to share recent original content, and they put in parentheses of any type. So they say they are looking at members or pages who have experience creating original content on LinkedIn to evaluate if they will be able to make the most of LinkedIn Live.
Interesting.
Then you also need a history of abiding by professional community policies. And then there's also a geography. So, for example, LinkedIn Live is not available at this time for mainland China.
Interesting. What was the first one again? What was the threshold for
150 followers and or connections?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're much more specific. The application used to just say, "Hey, apply and we'll see." I mean, essentially, right? There was nothing to give you any kind of idea of whether or not you could get accepted. So.
Yep. No, that's helpful. Good. Natalia Mandeka says, "Good afternoon. Warm greetings from Krakow, Poland."
Hello, Natalia.
Hello. Welcome. Let me scroll up, see what else I've got in my document. Yeah. Okay. So the wonderful Richard van der Blom is wonderful because he's a guy that does the research and has large-ish access to large-ish data sets and data crunchers. He has several places he goes to get the crunch the content, the LinkedIn content crunched. And B, he shares all of this, right? So he's I'm sure he's part of the secret source formula. In other words, he shares, right, pretty much 99% of what he knows, because he knows the 1% left behind or kept for clients is what keeps him in a position to pay the bills. And this will be his third algo report in a year annually that's coming up, I think, in September. And this is a teaser from some of that algo report's research. So let's go through it. He's saying more insights than 19 and 20 combined. That's interesting. On average, you will see in the feed only 10 to 15% of the posts of your network. Okay, I thought it would be lower than that, but that's interesting, I guess. The mobile feed differs from your laptop desktop feed. Yes, certainly does. Anyone who's like gone from one to the other will notice that they're almost like separate content feeds. And I must admit that I'm predominantly desktop. I suppose you are too, aren't you? Mostly desktop, Ryan?
Well, lately I've been a lot of mobile for obvious reasons, right? But I do both. If I'm gonna do like a big post or content, I'm definitely on the desktop.
Yeah.
But checking, keeping updates, responding, reacting, those types of things has mostly been mobile lately.
Gotcha.
Right. And while we're
Yes.
talking about this real quick, I just want to mention that there is a book called LinkedIn Made Simple, where there's an entire chapter on the algorithm.
Really?
Is that the first time I said it today? I was trying to beat last week's record.
Yeah, you're slacking. I mean, 15, I think, is a record, and last week was a miserable 4 or so.
Yeah, we're only at 1 now, so
yeah,
nice shiny book.
That's the book. Beautiful book. Smells like money. On average, people spend only 25 seconds on scroll time per session, reaching to about the 12th post at that time. I think that more or less describes me. But of course, what I'd like to know is, how many sessions does that occur, right? Or happen? Because I'm in all day, frankly.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna experiment right now and just kind of scroll through my feed and see what happens. But I usually, if I get into LinkedIn on mobile, I'm there for a good 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah. So that's an interesting stat. The 2nd, 8th, 14th, 18th position are reserved in the feed for promoted posts. That means companies paying to pop up in your feed. Yeah, I think I'd buy that. They seem to be quite, a regular spread or sprinkling of adverts from companies that pay LinkedIn. Organic company posts are almost invisible in the timeline. Average reach amongst followers, 3%. Wow.
Yeah. So just FYI, I just opened up my mobile. There is Danielle right there in my screen. She is my very first post in my feed.
Ooh.
And if I scroll down, the second post is in fact a promoted post.
Oh, so I think a lot of people are going to try and see if they can match Richard's 2nd, 8th, 14th, and 18th.
Yeah, my 5th post is promoted.
Interesting. Bad news for organic company posts. That's got to be hard for people who are trying to push company posts or corporate content via that page. Right. Polls are prioritized. Same counts for documents. He doesn't tell you what the count is yet. We might get that in the algo report itself, but yeah, no surprise there. I mean, polls, I see quite a lot of them still. Do you see polls a lot in your feed?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the post from Danielle that I just looked at is a poll. In fact, it is.
There we go. Richard
and
is
she's
right.
She's like, please answer my poll.
Richard's right. I need to check that out. And then document posts. Yeah, I mean, document posts has been one of my go-to content vehicles for ages now. I want to say at least two plus years. I just love the ability to sneak in long form content, in a post. So what I'd love is for those to be indexed by search engines. Right, I'd love for those to be getting extra, not algo juice, but SEO juice from the interwebs. That would be amazing. And then other stuff, other discoveries. Unlike about 9 months ago, LinkedIn does not show you more pieces of content of the same author if you scroll long enough. Okay, so that's disappointing. I'm not sure why that would be, but the algo, will do its own thing. Maybe they're just trying to get new authors in front of you. That could be it, rather than seeing the same folk. If you scroll long enough, somewhere between the 25th and 30th post, you will see content from people outside your inner circle of the algo. All right, so that's where the new post, the new content comes then. So that far down. Okay, interesting.
That is.
Yeah, it's like, all right, serve us, the usual crowd. And then 25th, 30th, someone brand new. Going to have to test that myself. Stop scrolling for a second and you are engaging because of dwell time. Yeah. Pressing see more could be seen as the new like, since it has the same impact on reach nowadays. Yeah. Makes sense. Interesting. Yeah. See, this is why I love Richard's stuff, right? Most of it is common sense. It's like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Now here's the challenge that I see with that. Click read more though.
Yes.
It kind of lends itself to broetry, which we talk about in the book, LinkedIn Made Simple. Right? So if people have a compelling enough opening statement,
yeah,
it's going to make people want to click see more.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And it's not necessarily broetry, but it's that piece of broetry where as great copywriters know, it's all about the hook. It's all about the headline, right? If you can nail that hook, you grab people on a very busy content feed. If you can pull that off, you're golden. That's definitely it. But unlike broetry, or not I'm casting shade. Unlike broetry, normally, you better deliver. You better give the meat in the sandwich after that hook.
Right. Yeah. So here's a use. Like, I got this message in my inbox from an InMail this week, and I'm very tempted to reply. This is the use of curiosity, but I also know it's coming as soon as I do. But he said, "Hi, Ryan. I saw that you're available for ... Nothing else."
Yeah.
So I know it's coming, but it also, I'm going to say, it makes me tempted to just say, available for what?
Right.
But I know when I do, it's coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's those kind of things, like in your first statement or your first sentence on a post, if you can capture somebody's attention enough to make them go, wait a minute, what's that about? Like, raise their curiosity.
Oh, yeah.
Then you have a great opportunity for them to click that see more button and really want to pay attention to the content that you're putting out.
Yeah. If you're interested in writing great copy, in particular, via Messenger, LinkedIn Messenger, there's a friend of mine called Bruce Johnston out of Toronto who swears that he's got a great technique, and I believe him because he's a smart dude. But it's all about the open rates, and he's got this formula that he says is I forget the percentage, but he has a very high percentage in terms of what you'd normally expect for people to be opening messages, and indeed opening is not enough, but actually responding, right? Because you need both of those things to happen. All right, so here's something paradoxical. LinkedIn has increased the maximum of characters for posts. Yes, was 1,300, now 3,000, but favors posts, still favors around the 1K characters in the algorithm. How odd is that? Let's try and wrap our head around that, right? Because a lot of people thought, why are you giving us, right, the extra space in short form content? It's short form content. 1,300, I've got it down. I know what I can do in that space. Why extend it? And as Richard's saying, why the algo doesn't like it when you do it?
Yeah, something that maybe the algo is not caught up to the product managers who are dictating what goes in your feed. I don't know. I mean, the 3,000 character thing could have been a way to try to get people away from articles and back into the feed. But I'm still a big proponent of, if you can't say what you need to say within 1,300 characters, then maybe you should not be publishing anything until you can.
Yeah.
Like figure out how to make it work in that time frame, because then you'll be brief, you'll be succinct, and directly to the point.
Yeah. Brevity is the soul of wit.
And that's the world we live in today.
Yeah, it's short attention span. You got to get to it quickly. Don't waste any time, any wordage. It's not a word. But absolutely. Back to the chat briefly. Asmita Chotani, hi everyone joining from India. Welcome. I love that we're international. Nicole, hello. Brenda Mella saying very interesting. I've been on for years, 10 plus, and they denied me. I want to use it to teach people how to use it more effectively, free of charge. Oh well, talking about LinkedIn Live and being
three times. Brenda, spurned. Don't feel bad. I've been denied 3 times.
5 times me, and it took a couple of mistakes on LinkedIn's part. But we can talk about that another time. Mistakes that I pointed out publicly, and I shamed them into giving it to me. Danielle is saying, answer my poll, please, in chat. For what it's worth, I use them sparingly. Yep.
I already did, by the way. I answered.
You're multitasking. You should be focusing on this show, Ryan Roten. What are you doing multitasking?
It was an experiment to see the polls
Jeez,
showing
oh,
up. I was
no.
just complimenting our live stream with actual data.
I love you. The 3% organic for companies was fantastic to learn, as we have seen the diminishing growth for 6 months now and are offsetting that with a greater pivot to employee activation, thought leader co-creation, etc. It's going to make LinkedIn better in some ways. Too much corporate broadcasting right now. I don't want to see the stuff in my feed. And now companies will hopefully now rethink their strategy. Great comment from Danielle. And that's it for. All right. So Nicole is asking, yes, can we talk about polls? The majority are annoying. Why are so many people using them? All right. So what's your take on polls?
Yeah, so I just refreshed my screen and another poll popped up. Like polls seem to be, and well, so you just talked about some of it too. Polls are still favored in the algorithm. They are quick and easy for people to engage. You can literally just read one sentence and then click a button, and then you can move on. You can see the results, because most people will probably click it because they just want to see what the results are, or because then if they have an actual statement to make about whatever that question is, then they'll put it in the comments. But otherwise, I think there's a curiosity factor for most people where they're like, oh, I want to see how everyone else voted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's there's something about asking questions, particularly if they are topical or hard to resist. Then it's a twofer, isn't it? Because the question itself is hard to resist, and the white button. Once you click on the white button and you actually vote, then you're locked in, and you may do one of two things, right? You may feel that you have to explain your choice. So then you're commenting. So that's a double hit in terms of engagement. And then once if you have indeed commented, then you're open to more engagement from other people who either agree or disagree or want to jump in on your comment. And I'll come to that in a second. And then the third lock in terms of engagement is you'll get notified when the poll has closed. So you'll come back to it, right? So it's extended engagement, which is obviously, LinkedIn loves. The author will love it too. But if that's not enough, if you're still curious about that poll and you wondered whatever happened to it and it's still running, you might go back to it again and then comment on other comments. It's just this nonstop, right? Ramping up. How locked in can we get this person? And, in terms of the poor polls out there, the bad ones, if someone is mixing it up, Nicole, if someone is doing a poll every whatever month or so, in amongst their regular content, and you like their regular content, that still means you're going to see their bad poll, right?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You don't have a setting. I don't think you'll ever get a setting that says, I don't want to see polls with less than X votes, right? Or with less than X, or I don't want to see polls full stop from this author. You're never going to get that granular control. So you've got to take it all. Unfortunately, if you like Ryan's stuff and he has a poll, which will always be excellent, by the way, you're going to see that. And then there will be other people who see how some polls have done fantastically well, and they'll want to try and replicate that. And if they don't just steal that. By the way, I don't think you can steal a poll. I think it's valid. If someone asks a great question that you really like and you're curious about, feel free to do the exact same poll and then compare notes. Right, go back to that person. And say, you could always reach out and say, hey, do you mind if I replicate your poll? That would be nice. But I don't think it's necessary. I think the more the merrier in terms of, and I think LinkedIn, we've discussed this before, LinkedIn should amalgamate polls that are similar or the same. So, they could join audiences, but they could also, beef up the data.
So, I think polls should be used strategically too. You can have some fun ones mixed in there, but have a strategic one where you try to get real information from your potential target audience, like get real comments. What problems are you struggling with? Like, where are some of your biggest frustrations? Those are things that once people can give you some feedback via a poll in the comments, you may start getting information directly from people where you can take their words and start to use it in your copy because you'll know it resonates with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we've gone past the shiny toy thing where, I think this is right. A lot of people think that LinkedIn will amp up a certain new feature shortly after it's arrived to make, to try and get widespread adoption. And polls is, I think, beyond that now. Polls have probably been with us for a year or so.
Yeah.
And so they're not shiny or new that anymore. And yet we're still seeing them in our feed. I think, for all the reasons we've discussed, I think they're just fantastic engagement vehicles. But as you say, Ryan, it's a great way to try and better understand your network, specifically in terms of what they want from you, what they would like, et cetera, and what they know, as an intel gathering thing. And right. Tegan is saying, my polls get so much traction, even the useless ones. I love that she's admitting that some of them are useless, because that's true, right? We're not always going to hit them out of the park. Some of them are just not gonna go wonderfully. Oddly, I get a lot of inbound leads from them. Even then, they're not related to resume writing. So odd. So yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. I would take a leaf out of Tegan's book, Nicole. I would say, if you haven't been, Nicole, I would definitely play in that space and experiment with them.
Well, I would also suggest too, yes, with polls, and Tegan's touching on it, because we have a whole section in LinkedIn Made Simple about your profile and the importance of your headline, your image, and your about section, right? And yes, so if she's doing polls, she's being seen most likely by a lot of people who might be outside of her network, who are then visiting her profile to say, what is Tegan all about? And she probably has her profile dialed in such that people are like, hey, I need to reach out to her to talk to her about her services.
Absolutely. I would love for Richard's report to tell us as much as possible about polls, because I don't think polls was a thing in the 2020 report when that came out. So if he can shed any light on, as you say, Ryan, the reach of polls, and to what extent does it do first, second, and third? Anything at all about polls would be fascinating from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, I've been sitting here refreshing my app as we're talking, and every time I refresh it, a new poll pops up. Every time.
Crazy. Keep the questions coming, guys. We're kind of doing an AMA as we go. I'm going to just scroll up on the document that I prepared earlier, and this caught my eye. So this is from Nick McEwen out of the UK. Can anyone name anything more pointless than this? I think I'd rather not know, to be honest. Take off private mode, people. It's a little bit creepy. And then he does this. He gives us the screenshot, and it's a fairly popular post, right? Over 3,000 reactions, over 500 comments. And I commented, and the reason I wanted to share this was, so this is one of the techniques that I use. I invent a convo, completely imaginary. And I think it's a really useful way to catch attention and get people thinking. And I don't see enough of this. I would love for more people to just do the imagined convo comment. And what I'm pointing out is that, look, this is probably done for a reason by LinkedIn, that they want to advertise this whole, facet or this setting of anonymity. And that's what I do in that convo. And then, I try and make it believable, even though it's imagined. And then this is the beauty of comments, that you then get replies, but you also get votes, right? You get 57 people going, "Oh, I agree." And so that's mini content. That's a mini post in and of itself. And I'd like to see more of that. I think it's a strong technique.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. It looks familiar.
Yeah.
I recognize it from somewhere. I might have to buy it. Look, I had to buy my own book, by the way. I had to buy two of them.
Yeah, so did I. So did I.
I don't get them free. Yeah, not only is it a great book, but there is a online this online tool Tell us about the online tool. What exactly is this LinkedIn Made Simple Enroll Now? What do people get, Ryan, if they click on that blue button?
Yeah, well, if you click on it, you'll see you scroll down to the bottom, and you get the help that you may need with LinkedIn, because we have a companion online course which has, I think it has over like 60 videos, many of which are like how to do something, specific videos of where you click on a screen, how you set things up, all that kind of stuff. Wow. And then also there's a group training session where you get access to the online course, plus access to me and you via, unfortunately, a Facebook group. Someday, maybe we'll get it into LinkedIn, but for now it's in a Facebook group where we have weekly meetings and chat with people and answer their questions and help them make LinkedIn simple.
Excellent promo. Yeah, Ryan and I will help you personally. And as Brian said, give you one-on-one training. That is something that we love to do, and we are offering now. But there's also group coaching, so you learn from others, as well as these video tutorials, which are very, very good. So yeah, joking apart, do join us there. If you're interested in improving your LinkedIn strategy, then we make it simple, but we also make it fun. And you'll get maximum value when you do it with us. Dude, have we got anything else to add in the next 10-15 minutes or so?
Yes, if someone does decide to go and take advantage of the course or the group training program, we are going to have a special coupon just for people who watch the show. And all you have to do when you check out is enter the code LinkedIn Live.
Very good. Very good. All right. So let's see if we've got anything else in chat. Tegan was very kind enough to share the Amazon link. How sweet. Appreciate it. Nicole is saying, I only have done one poll. It was very relevant to my job. Smoking on construction sites, but so many of them are so cotton candy fluff subjects and questions. Yeah, I agree. A lot of polls out there that are easily dismissible, and obviously scroll on until you see something you like, or even better, create something that other people will love.
I did it again. I refreshed. The latest poll is one rub left on the genie bottle. Your wish is going to be what?
That's definitely cotton. That's definitely cotton candy. I mean,
what my wish is?
What is
my wish is that people would take a look at LinkedIn Made Simple, the book, but also join us in the course or group training program. Yes, because that would be amazing. We can help so many people.
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. So I looked like you the other day. In fact, yesterday I was having a meal with my wife and my child, and she was playing with Snapchat filters. And
oh yeah.
I was bald. I was like, yes,
amazing.
I think there's a photo somewhere.
Yeah, you can actually in Zoom. If you don't know this, you can actually go download the Snapchat filter. Like really? Go search for and then you can plug it into Zoom, and then you can sit there and play with Snapchat filters all day long, and change the look that you have if you want.
Interesting. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, what I like about Snapchat is it looks almost real, right? Unlike some of the filters. So you'll see if there's some kind of attempt at a green screen, you'll see people with hair, and it's going in and out because you can still see the background. So they quite haven't, but Snapchat seems to be next level stuff. So I am. I've got a busy dance card. I've got my 16-question show later on in like 15 minutes. Are you going to come on it sometime?
Yes, absolutely. You just have to invite me.
Well, look for the post and click on the link. I'm happy to say that I didn't mess up the time slot on that. And then tomorrow, I'm very excited because I've got my Blinkety Blank, the first ever quiz show with 8 panelists via LinkedIn Live.
Oh, fun.
And I'd love to have you on one of those as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And if anyone is interested, go ahead.
By the way, if also while we're on that, I can't actually comment, can I? I cannot comment.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I mean, if you've got it, yeah, you can. Well, you can comment on your phone if you've got the. If you're on my profile.
All right, let me do that.
Activity section. Yeah, you can do that. And Danielle, the wonderful Danielle Guzman, is on the first ever Blinkety Blank show tomorrow. So that's exciting. We've got Leah Turner, we've got Joel Lalji, we've got Liam Darmody, we've got Brenda Meller, the wonderful Brenda Meller is also on the show. And I'm missing who else? Oh yes, Madeline Mann is also there. Who have I?
Man, heavy hitters.
Yeah. I'm lucky to know all these wonderful people.
An amazing cast.
It'll be fun. And I'm getting some questions in the back channel about what exactly what are you gonna ask us, Andy? And I said no math. So I mean, it's a pub quiz. So, it's like a pub quiz.
If anybody's interested, by the way, in that Snapchat camera, just type in snapcamera.snapchat.com and you can download it, and then it'll load into Zoom, and then you can have little cute filters and stuff that you play with during your Zoom meetings.
Cool. Very good. All right, we got 21 people. At some stage, I need to go in and see what I can extract from the LinkedIn Live stats, and compare them, the shows, and see what's happening. But I think 20 or so is what we get on live. And then, I'd love to see replay. I've been told Cher Jones is an excellent LinkedIn Live presenter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think she's mentioned in the book LinkedIn Made Simple. Pretty sure. Oh, that's only 4? I need to really pick up my game.
Dude, you killed it the first time. You did it 14 times. You're on a roll. And I was thinking, wow, this is just incredible. Is he going to do this every time? And clearly you're not. Yeah.
No, well, I am. I don't know. I'll get it next time. I will. And Tegan, by the way, there is a way to do it without all the stuff that you're talking about in your comment with the groups. Feel free to reach out to me and we can talk. I can talk you through some of that stuff. Because that's what I do.
Good stuff. And Danielle is saying Cher's like a TV show. Really cool.
Totally.
Her presentation is just one of the best that I've ever seen. Frankly, there's nothing that comes close to in terms of production value, and it's completely understandable because, of course, that is her background. She's been in the TV business, and it shows. Agbo, Michael, pleased to meet you too, buddy. Very good. Hello. All right, so I think that's probably going to be it, mate.
That's it for today.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll go ahead.
I gotta go take shelter. It's gonna be 100+ degrees here in Minneapolis today.
Hey, are you going to see Prince's compound?
We might. Yeah, we're here for 4 days, so we might drive around and check it out.
Oh yeah, I would be doing that. All right, dude. Thank you so much as always for joining me on LinkedIn Made Simple, the LMS 45 minutes every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central. Go ahead.
11 a.m. That's 11 a.m., not noon. Just so you know, it's 11 a.m.
I hate you so much
right
now.
And I agree, by the way, with Danielle's last comment, and I think that's probably where we should close it out while she's plugging, your book, LinkedIn Made Simple.
That's 5. Still 10.
Our book.
Still 9 short of the record.
10 short. Dang it.
Yeah. What we have been doing right now is we've been conversing.
Yes, we have.
Dude, fellow author, it's always a pleasure to share the screen with you. Have wonderful travels, Minneapolis and wherever wherever you may go. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us today. Appreciate you all. And thank you so much for engaging in chat. And we will see you next week. Happy Hump Day. All right, man. I'm going to click on.
Are you closing us out like with the fancy stuff, or are we just like ending?
Speaking of fancy stuff, I need to, I need to do some kind of a reel to start and to end. So that's actually on my to-do list.
Oh, there you go.
All right. But for now, we're just going to do this silly 30 countdown thing while I click on end live, end broadcast. All right. See you, bud. See you, bud. 3, 2, 1.